Hello everybody, I'm that one Scott, and I'm back with a long overdue reaction video to Ghostbusters Afterlife. I think it's the final trailer before the film is released. But anyway, basically I was a bit busy so I couldn't dive straight into this, but I thought I'll watch this before I get a chance to even see the film, just to see if it's any good. And you'll probably notice my lighting has improved somewhat, so I had to get something for that. My glasses going, you'll ken exactly what it is I'm doing this way. So, anywho, I'm not going to waste any time. At least I'll give my conclusion. I'll say other things I could have said at this point. I'll give them after I've watched it. So, just going to watch it all the way through in one go, and then after watch it all the way through, at least that's the plan. I'll give my take. So, without further ado, we are going to be starting shortly. Right. So without further ado, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
You're a great mom.
I don't know. I'm fine with Trevor, but with Phoebe, she really keeps me on the outside.
That's normal. She's an awkward, nerdy kid.
Maybe a new home can be an opportunity to start fresh. I just wish she'd get into some trouble.
There's still time.
What are you doing here in Somerville anyway?
We're completely broke, and our grandfather left us this creepy old farmhouse in the middle of nowhere.
Father wasn't much of a homemaker. He could hardly keep the power on.
You're saying he left us nothing?
Well, I wouldn't say nothing.
You went with the station wagon?
It's the only one that had an engine.
Oh yes.
What is happening here?
Somehow, a town with no fault lines is shaking on a daily basis.
Maybe it's the apocalypse. Egon came out here for a reason.
Are you troubled by strange noises in the middle of the night?
Do you experience feelings of dread in your basement or attic?
Have you or any of your family ever seen a spook, specter, or ghost?
Oh my god. You guys hear that?
Something's coming.
The whole city. It's like The Walking Dead.
Oh yes.
Ghostbusters.
We're ready to believe you.
We're closed.
Okay. Based off the strength of that trailer, I'm in. This you can tell. See, when I saw the trailer for the previous Ghostbusters before this, when I saw the trailer for that, it looked like a bad SNL sketch. My thing, when I watched it, I kind of thought to myself, it's like somebody trying to do a parody of Ghostbusters. That's how I thought it when I saw it. It just wasn't that funny, it wasn't that creative, it wasn't that interesting, it just wasn't that type of thing. There was nothing in it for me to get behind. The best thing about it was the song, which I'm not even a Fall Out Boy fan, but they did a pretty good job making the song a song that was good enough to go with a film, and that I would say would be the best part of that whole thing. This is night and day compared to that. This really is. It's just it's creative, it's interesting. It was going by that fast I could barely keep up with what was happening on screen. It was that interesting. I liked how they were starting off. Like, this is Spengler's grandchildren and his daughter. They're getting the house, and the daughter's obviously got the making of like Spangler influence, and she's going through stuff, and she ends up finding that I don't remember what the thing is they call it, the ghost catcher or something. I don't remember the name of that thing. They showed the boy working on Ecto 1, which was nice that he was working on it versus her. It gives him something to do. So that was nice, and seeing trying Ecto 1 was great. Oh god, and then the wee marshmallow men, that was quite funny. It was a bit surprising to see that compared to the big thing that they were going to do in the first one. So, aye, it's, and then seeing Nate Doug's and seeing how they've done things up, you can tell it's been designed for both children and adults. That's what I like about it. It's designed for both children to sit down and get fascinated with Ghostbusters, and it's designed for adults to sit back and just watch it and say, this is what I grew up on. It's designed for that, and that's a great thing. I suppose the only people who complain about this are the people who love the 2016 version, and which I'll turn around and say to you, get over it, seriously. If this is done right, if it's done well, it's going to knock the absolute piss out of that version. It really is. A version that was done so badly that you made Chris Hemsworth one of the most bankable stars in film, making him look ridiculous and useless in cinema. The kind of person that you could build a successful and serious action franchise. I'm not talking about Marvel, I'm talking about anything else. You could build any type of action or comedy around him, and it should work, and yet it failed. And he may have been the best thing in it. I'm glad that's not something that people are going to have any brains. I'm glad that film is something that people just look at as an example of what no today versus what this is shaping up to be. So, if this film, if I get the chance to see it and it proves me right, then aye. What this seems to be filled with is imagination, creativity, different ideas. They put Paul Rudd in it, which is Paul Rudd and comedy it just goes together. And especially if it's a well written character, which this appears to be. You've got the children who are the new Ghostbusters. You'll obviously be helping it in some manner. You'll have the old Ghostbusters come into it to some degree. It's referencing the past while looking for the future. That's the whole point. That's what everybody should be aiming for. I don't see anything wrong with this. I really don't. I actually want to see how it goes down with a final battle. It was good seeing Slimer in it. Although I don't know how they're going to work Slimer into it. If they're going to do the same thing they had with Venkman with Slimer. Or if it's just going to be, I don't know. Because we all know that Slimer was based on John Belushi, and the first film is always going to be a classic. The second film wasn't bad. It was a decent follow up of what it was. I don't care if it followed the same beats. Home Alone 2 followed the same beats as Home Alone, and it was still a good film. And the last 20 minutes or half of that film were great. With this, hopefully it has its own story to tell and its own universe to expand on, and its whole going forward. Hopefully they can get maybe 2 or 3 good films out of this after this first film if it does well. I've not really looked up anything towards how good it is or where it's going to go. I've done none of that. I just hope it's successful, and I hope, based on the people who've brought into it, that it is as successful as I hope it will be, because let's be honest, films these days are basically just extremely poor to the point where I can't fathom watching any of these films. Half the films that are coming out, this I can fathom watching, because it's obviously got the love and the care of people behind it that want to see it work. That's what's happening there. Know somebody who, like Paul Feig, who wants to have improvisation with all his stars in every single scene, and therefore you don't have a balanced set script and a balanced set, way of going about things. So, aye, so that's what's coming to my head. I genuinely hope this is as good as it's making itself in the trailer, and I hope it doesn't do a Mortal Kombat, so I'm just hoping it works out as well as it should work out. And, aye. It's nice to see. Don't get me wrong, I'm not really a huge fan of the Finn, the boy from Stranger Things. I'm not a huge fan of him, but it's playing right up the street that it'll be good for him in his career, so I can see it definitely being the strongest move for him that makes the most sense. That's how I see it with him. So I don't see any downsides to this so far. Maybe somebody will point to a downside that I don't know about. Anyway, was it me rattling on? I want to see this. It looks very good. It looks like it's a real clean up for the past mistakes, and we'll just see. We'll see where it goes. We'll see how well it does. And we'll see if it gets a sequel somewhere in the future. And at this point, the way things are going, hopefully the studios can look at this and realise that yes, you can make great films and you can put great movies out there and make money off it and go back down that path rather than trying to appease certain groups of people who, quite frankly, never cared about the original in the first place or anything to do with great ideas in the first place, which is exactly why cinema's going the way it's going. Anyway, I've said enough. So, if you're still watching, thanks for watching. I will, give me a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next reaction video, whatever that one might be it a cinematic one, or be it a trailer, or whatever. So, whatever. Whatever you see me in, you see me in. So, thank you and take care.